we've got the Eight of Wands is about travel and communication. It's very fast-moving energy. We've got the Seven of Swords. That is deceptive energy. That's not being honest. So, and then the Devil is also somebody's not being... So let's get some clarification on that. Hello to my Twin Flame Collective. Welcome to your reading. This is the Awakened Jen. All right, so we're going to check in to see where we are at right now in this connection between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. So we're going to be using a new oracle this time. It is the True Love Oracle. We'll pull one card for the masculine, one card for the feminine, just to see what they need right now in love. And then we'll pull a 3-card reading that shows the current energy of the masculine, the current energy of the feminine, and then the potential outcome as things stand where they are now. I also am going to ask the question in this: what is the masculine not telling the feminine? And what is the feminine not telling the masculine at this time? So that we can get some further insight as to what is going on, what's going on behind the scenes, what's not being told. And so there's going to be a lot going on with this. So I hope that you'll stick around and, go deeper with this with me. All right. So I'm going to set some intentions as I'm shuffling. All right. So the first intention is that anyone who comes across this message, there is something in here for you. I set the intention that anyone who needs to hear the messages that come out in this reading will find it at the time that they need it most. And I set the intention that all the messages that come out will be for our highest good. All right. I set the intention that I will be given very clear messages, be given all the right words, phrases, and anything needed in order to communicate the message as clearly as possible so it can be received as it was intended. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. If you find value in this video, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel. You can hit the bell for notifications and it will let you know every time I post a new video. I try to post about 4 to 5 videos a week, but right now I'm kind of in a really busy season, so I'm getting about 3 to 4. But I do post several videos a week, so if you'll hit that bell, it lets you know every time I post a new video. All right. So we'll start with the channeled message. What do the Twin Flame Collective need to know at this time? Justice and balance. Justice is coming to this Twin Flame Collective. Karma has been worked through and resolved and is restoring, and this is restoring balance to the relationship. The feminine has worked to heal old wounds relating to her self-worth, and the masculine is learning to soften his heart and be more trusting. Each twin is restoring balance to their inner masculine and feminine as they do the work. And once they restore their internal union, it leads the way for the physical union as well. All right, so each has been really working on themselves, on those old wounds that have held them back in their relationships. And so they're both working on healing themselves and not really so focused on the other part, on the relationship itself. And that's actually what is bringing in the true alignment that will bring in the union, because the inner union of the masculine and feminine does have to come first before the external union can come. So when it's talking about the feminine is working on wounds relating to her self-worth, that's really pulling in more of her masculine energy to, balance, those feelings of, not enoughness. And then, the softening of the heart, that is the masculine balancing his feminine. And so that's what they're both been working on, is trying to pull from the other energy because they've been too much in the one energy. All right, so let's go ahead and start pulling some cards. So, deep breath. All right, so what does the masculine need right now in love? Masculine in love. Soulmates. What does the feminine need right now? All right, we've got creativity. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and pull from the tarot. Deep breath. All right, so what is the masculine's current energy right now? Masculine. He's in the hermit mode. Deep self-reflection. Feminine. Page of Cups. She's dreaming really big about what, that future potential could be. And potential outcome. Judgment. So Judgment is about really releasing your full essence out into the world. It is a transparency. It is being authentic. So let's just see where all of this is taking us. So the masculine needs soulmates at this time. That is page 80. Okay. Being wholly and fully yourself is the only way to attract a true soulmate relationship. A soulmate relationship will contain everything you want and everything you need. You will experience a beautiful sense of connectedness and mutuality with this person and may even feel like you have known them before. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? So how do you attract this kind of relationship, or how can you be sure that your current partner is your soulmate? The most direct and effective way to attract your soulmate is just to be yourself. Yes, really, when you let go of any pretenses, behaviors, and attitudes that aren't your truth, your personal vibration automatically shifts and you become a beacon to the kind of mate that you long to spend your life with. The same is true of an existing relationship. If you're harboring doubts about the relationship and aren't sure if your partner is your soulmate, then just be yourself. Start by considering where you have not been fully authentic up until now, and make some gentle, gradual adjustments and improvements. Communicate your realizations as best you can and give your partner credit for trying to understand. Make your changes at a pace that allows you both a reasonable amount of time to embrace your new way of being. Over time, you will discover whether you are right for each other or not. The suggested approach to just be yourself can sound too simple to the ego, or the monkey mind, so beware of its tendency to complicate your thinking. But being wholly, fully, and unashamedly yourself is the only way to attract and maintain a true soulmate relationship. If it takes a little longer to attract your true soulmate, then rest assured this is time well spent. And if your current relationship ends as a result of your truth, then you have created an opportunity in your life for the relationship you have always desired. Both situations require commitment, courage, and willingness to be honest with yourself. Okay. So, there is so much that was coming through for that about just that really being yourself so fully. And I mean, this was really kind of part of what was coming out, is that, this is the potential outcome, is really being so authentic as to who you are, showing up as this is who I am. You like it or you don't like it. And that allows for the right people to align with you, because if you're not showing up authentically, if you're hiding parts of yourself just trying to fit in, and then you're getting disappointed because it feels like, nobody truly connects with you, nobody truly understands you, it's because you have put on this false front about who you are. They aligned with your false front, your mask of who you have shown up for, to be in this world. And that's what they aligned with. So if you want the people who truly align with who you are, you've got to actually show people who that is. That's how you're shining your light. You're saying, here I am. If this is your cup of tea, here I am. And so that's that is the advice, is just to start truly expressing yourself in your authenticity, and knowing that when you're doing that, that's allowing the other people to see whether or not this is who they want to align with as well. And I mean, I don't think that you should even feel like truly rejected by the people who aren't aligned with you, because in truth, you're rejecting them as well, because if they were going to be with you long term, you would need them to change who they were in order for that to truly make you both happy. And so, I mean, it's like, you can be upset that they have rejected you for showing up as who you really are, and knowing that you could show them this other version and they would accept you, but they're not accepting you. And you're not accepting them in the long term if you're needing them to adjust to who you really are. All right, I think I've beat that enough. We'll move on. All right. The feminine needs creativity. Creativity is number 22. Okay. Your world offers endless possibilities and variety, so be creative and enjoy them to your advantage and benefit. Being creative is not just about being artistic or inventive. It's about thinking outside the square and considering different approaches and attitudes. Being creative means that you can turn an ordinary day into a wonderful day by adding a dash of the unexpected. You have drawn this card today because there is never any excuse for excessive repetition or boredom in your life or in your relationship. Routine and habit have their place in life up to a point, but they can quickly dull your senses and enthusiasm. If you're currently seeking a partner, it will be beneficial to explore your own creativity in terms of your attitudes, perception, and expectations. Even the way that you listen. Look back over your life and consider where you could have been more creative. Notice where your attachment to routine, predictability, and your ideas about how things should be may have affected your previous relationships. Think about what you could do differently from now on, and what habits and rules you might be able to loosen in the name of spontaneity and fun. In an existing relationship, it is often obvious where the rot of routine and fixed expectations have set in. This is your opportunity to be creative. Many people imagine that a certain amount of money is needed before meaningful creativity can occur. If you have fallen into this narrow mindset, then it's time to think again. Next time you go to a park or a beach, just observe the children playing on the swings or collecting shells. You don't need to be wealthy to enjoy an abundance of creativity, so use your imagination and do something that will make you and your partner smile. Bringing creativity into your relationships can be as simple as going to a new restaurant, seeing a movie that wouldn't normally be your style, eating a meal in the garden instead of in front of the television, or finally doing that special something that you've been postponing. So I know that is true for me about needing some more creativity and fun in my life in general. It's just, I feel like I have been work, and not really getting to fully express myself, and just be in the moment. That is where the flow really is experienced. And so, like it was talking about the children, and I've really been mindful about the behavior of the way that children go about their lives, and just thinking about, how did we lose that joy, that sense of just, like, I am just exploring this world. I am like, what can I do with this? And, how can I put these together to make something new? And that, could change the way that we live forever. Like there's just something about the way that kids just, they just experience this world in a much different way than we do as we get older. And I'm not sure where that comes in, if it's with the hormones of, the puberty or what, but there's a point where we start caring too much about what everybody else is going to think about us if we speak out loud this certain thing, that the thought that came out, or if we do if we act in a certain way, or if we follow this certain passion. We start caring more about what other people are going to think about that or say about that than we do about the experiencing the joy that comes from that. So I hope that collectively we can learn how to sort of regain some of that joy, just curiosity that, carries children. All right. Moving to the rest of the reading, we've got the masculine's current energy is the Hermit. So that is a lot of self-reflection. Inner reflection, meditation, contemplation, soul searching, inner wisdom, spiritual mentor, finding your guide within, taking time away from the chaos of a busy life, hermiting. It's time to make space for your sacred aloneness and self-care. If you are feeling disconnected from your spiritual north, this time of solitary withdrawal will help you connect with your own compass. Soul purpose, spiritual awakening, and deep inner wisdom spring from this energy. Sometimes we run the risk of being so introspective that we lose our connections to others, or worse, we can dive so deeply into our stories of struggle that we inadvertently begin to believe that our wounds will be a part of our forever identity. In the deepest trenches of self-discovery, we must remember that our continual search for our own healing and inner truth does not mean that we are not already whole and healed. Emerge from your inner retreat with beautiful insights from spirit and allow yourself to navigate the path with your brightly illuminated heart. Inner sage, inner mentor, inner guide. Show me my brightest light so that I may see with all of my heart. So there's just, right now, the masculine is just taking time to really reflect on himself, on, just his life up until this point, as to, what has he done right and what has he not done right. And I think that he's just really trying to find, like, again, we were talking about bringing the balance from the channeled message, just talking about working on softening the heart and being more trusting and kind of learning, where did this come from anyways? At what point did I really get to the point that I closed off my heart? And so, some of it, like what I was just talking about, with the way that children are, there came a point in the masculine's experience that caused him to stop trusting other people and to, think that, this world is more out to get him, that he has to do it on his own. And it's just, it hardened his heart to be able to see, like, the beauty that is around him, the magic that is all around. All right, and then we've got the feminine is the Page of Cups. So, like I said, this is dreaming big. She's got big expectations. A dreamer, serendipity, creativity, new unexpected trajectories, magic and synchronicity, an open and joyful heart, sensitivity and naivety and romance, being motivated by innovative ideas. There is serendipity and magic here, like the first breath of love or a very first kiss. Anything is possible at this time. Be open to wildly wonderful miracles. This is the When Pigs Fly card, and holding it in your hands is a sign that unforeseen yet fortuitous events are coming your way. Bring childlike enthusiasm to the unknown and welcome any unexpected twist on your journey. Be open to inspiration from the strangest of places and pay attention to the intuitive musings that arrive. They will give your creativity wings. As you enjoy this time of strangely unique thinking, ensure that you are not being overly sensitive or blocking your own flow because you are trying to control the process. Allow your emotions to follow the breadcrumbs of joy. Play a little more, do something silly, stay curious about the feelings of wonder and awe, and allow your sensitive dreamer to dream. The world is my flourishing oyster, and I am excited to see what happens next. So the feminine is really working on just kind of getting back into flow and getting into this more expressive experience of the creativity, of releasing her creativity and just being more playful. All right, so the potential outcome right now is the Judgment card. Self-realization and understanding, spiritual awakening, redemption, knowing your motives and your heart to be true, total transparency, a glorious unveiling of spirit. You have judged others and have been judged yourself, and you are awakening to the understanding that the only approval that really matters is your own. Are you doing your best with others and with yourself? It's time to shed any negative facades, drop the mask behind the mask. It may feel risky, yet this profound act of self-acceptance will unleash your absolute essence. You are light, shadow, matter, and consciousness, and you are a miracle. Why then do you keep your true nature hidden away from the world? There is no way to really understand your full potential until you are open and honest with your own heart, without judgment. To expand and evolve requires this colossal forgiveness of the self. Forgive your beautiful soul. Accept your beautiful heart. As you do, you consciously answer the call of your highest self, and the vastness of your horizon will make itself available to you. Hello, Essence. I invite you to show up every day. I invite my soul to shine unapologetically. So, I feel like both the masculine and the feminine are both really headed to, new levels of awakening and awareness and just self-discovery, that they're going about it in kind of different modes though, because we've got, he's withdrawing from within and going within to seek, I think he's working more on the healing and understanding part, where I think that the feminine has already been through this part. And so now then she's more about the expression and really trying to, let's start dreaming. Let's just get back into this. And in the spiritual awakening process, there's all the different phases. And so you've got, the dark night of the soul, which is a lot of times where this ends up. And it's typically the dark night of the soul leads to this. So you went through something extremely, painful, and, it's got you just really questioning everything about your life. That's how you get to that level. And then, once you go through all the different, you work through that and then you get through the next, there does come a point where it feels like you're just kind of floating in nothingness. That's called the void. So you've detached from your old life. You've completely detached, your identity to your old life, but you haven't actually grounded your energy into your new life yet. So now you're just kind of sitting in the middle here, feeling very disconnected from everything and not sure, where you fit in at all. And I think that that's what this kind of represents to me, is that space of just kind of anything is possible right now. We know we're not doing this anymore because we've detached from that, but anything is possible. So we're just kind of getting our understanding of what actually do we want, because anything, we can go in any direction at this moment because we are not attached to any particular outcome right now. And so both working on these different levels of their awakening, it's both still leading to the same place of that just, full release and expression. All right. Let's see. Where do I want to go from there? I wanted to ask, let's see. What is the masculine not telling the feminine at this time? What is the masculine not saying at this time? Okay. All right. So we've got the King of Wands, the Three of Swords, the King of Pentacles. So these two kind of came out together. I feel like that this is part of the heartbreak, is that, he had one vision about the way that his life was going to go. It's connected to this. Let me read that. All right, King of Wands. What is the masculine not telling at this moment? There was something that he felt very confident about that just did not work out the way that he thought it was going to. An entrepreneurial spirit, a natural born leader, ideas that can be ultra successful, creative visionary, timelessness, success, fire. I actually see this more as, even though it didn't show up in reverse, I see this as more of the reversal of this. Being overly ambitious, a need for compassion, egomania, being too assertive, explosive emotions, impatience. So, yeah. The shadow side of this energy is that you may not perceive your own blind spots because of an overzealous ambition. Keep arrogance and unrealistic expectations at bay and work out the kinks before charging ahead with your intensely vibrant heart. Yeah, there was something that, you were just overconfident about. The masculine was just overconfident about, and it did not turn out the way that he thought it was going to. But this is what he is working on at this time. That's what he's hoping for now, is the King of Pentacles. This is his focus. Overflowing material abundance, patience and determination, confident and warm leader, providing for others, comfort and security, personal growth, goals reached, prosperity and success. Exuding warmth, the King of Pentacles welcomes you into his study for a heartfelt conversation about life. He's worked his fields, met his soulmate, found wealth, and now he looks out over his dream manifested as he offers you one of the tarot's most potent messages of forthcoming abundance and prosperity. The most important thing to be done is enjoy it all. Enjoy every lesson, challenge, failure, and success. He reminds you to get clear on where you want to be, to plan and envision. There is manifesting power in the longing and so much joyful expansion as you bring your greatest potential into existence. Happiness happens when you do better than the last time, and in the pursuit of personal growth, allow yourself the extravagance of desire. The rest is a consequence of faith, steady habits, and courage to cultivate enormous dreams. Dream your biggest dream to light. I dream my endless potential into existence with steady desire and effort. Okay, so this is where I see that the masculine is trying to get to. This is what he's working towards. All right. So let's see what the feminine is not saying at this time. What is the feminine not saying? Oh, okay. Okay. So we've got the Five of Pentacles. So she's been feeling left out in the cold, or that she had felt. More of what I'm getting from this is that because she got to this point where she was feeling left out in the cold, that it sparked her to just kind of take matters into her own hands. And so we've got the Page of Swords is all about just really getting inspired to learn as much as you can possibly learn. So that's another level of the spiritual awakening that, where I was talking about that earlier. Like, after that whole deep self-reflection and all of that from the dark night of the soul, once you realize that you have gone through this awakening and you get that burst of just, oh my goodness, of what is actually out there, it causes you to want to take in as much knowledge as you can possibly get. Like, just my own experience, like just books and videos and just any websites, anything I could find. I just immersed myself completely in all of it, trying to learn as much as I could possibly learn, and just that became my full focus. Instead of focusing on a relationship, I was focusing on just this part of my life, the spiritual part of my life, just really trying to fully understand everything that was being presented to me. And that built a lot of strength in me, a lot of determination. And then, the Knight of Pentacles is about doing the work. It's really staying the course. And so that really, what is she not saying? It's just that because she got that feeling of feeling left out in the cold, that's what really inspired her to start working on all of this other stuff, to stop focusing on the relationship. And that's maybe what she's not saying, is that she's not focused on the relationship. And I've said that in a couple of the past twin flame readings, is just that seems to be very clear. And I can say that in probably, even my personal way too, is that I am much more focused myself on what I'm trying to create. I'm more focused on the spiritual path, knowing that as I'm working on me and getting aligned with my spiritual path, that this other part is going to work itself out. That, the alignment is going to show, just the way that it was talking about in the card here, that it was talking about for the masculine, where once you start really showing who it is, you start seeing where the alignment is. Once you start really understanding what it is that you actually want for your life, you start seeing the parts in your life that don't line up with that. So that's why I think that it's like, it's not a complete disconnect from the connection. I think that the feminine is still very much, wanting the connection and very attached to the connection, but that's just not her focus, because I feel like, just she has learned that the path to where she wants to go is really, not focused on something external to her. It's focused on getting this part right. So that is what has not been said. Let's go ahead and pull some clarifying questions, and I'm going to use the Barbara Moore Gilded Tarot for our clarification. Let's see, did any signs come out in this? So Judgment is Scorpio. The Hermit is Virgo. And Strength is Leo. So we had Scorpio, Virgo, Leo. Okay. All right. All right, so what do we have to look forward to in this situation? All right. Okay, so we've got the Emperor, which is the divine masculine. It's also Aries energy. We've got the Star, that is wishes granted, and it's Aquarius energy. And then the Three of Cups, that is about your soul tribe. So what do we have to look forward to is, hold on, let me read the Emperor. The message of the Emperor is that of healthy stability. Create an environment that allows you to function at your best. Seek well-functioning order in your life in terms of your home, your workplace, and your relationships. Appreciate the rules of society that allow you a smooth and peaceful life. Be aware of stifling and stagnating rules and regulations. Creating order in your life simply for the sake of order alone is inhibiting, not liberating. Learn when it is time to question the obligations and more of societies. All right, we have the Emperor, the Star. The message of the Star is replenishment and faith. Know that the cycles of nature are true and natural, and that after a hard time, a better time will follow. And when it comes, give yourself over to it. Immerse yourself in the cool waters of faith and the constant light of the Star. Know that your heart will be refreshed and your faith will be renewed. Be aware of lack of faith, or of giving in to despair, or of giving up. The Star promises hope. Don't lose faith in that promise. And then the Three of Cups. You are surrounded by those who give you happiness. Remember to acknowledge and appreciate them. Take time with others to celebrate the simple joys of being alive. Be aware of ignoring the simple pleasures of life and not appreciating those around you. This is not a time to focus on your problems, no matter how pressing. Practice gratitude and see what develops. Okay. So with the Emperor, it was bringing in stability. The Star is hope. And then the Three of Cups is that you do have support. So we've got stability, hope, and support is what we have to look forward to. Okay. What do you need to be mindful of? Okay. All right, so we've got the Four of Cups. This is about not appreciating what you have, and you become more focused on what you don't have, and then when you're being offered something, it's more like, oh, I wish it was something bigger, better. It's just not seeing the value. So the Hangman is, you need to look at it from a different perspective. That it might look small in the beginning. It might start off small, but has the possibility to grow into something, long term and very, very successful. So, I mean, just maybe this is not judging the book by its cover kind of thing. And then we've also got the Two of Pentacles, which is about bringing balance to your material, physical, spiritual work. And I also think bringing the balance between your masculine and your feminine, bringing that inner union. Okay. What does this situation look like in 6 months? Okay. Okay. Well, we've got the Eight of Wands is about travel and communication. It's very fast-moving energy. We've got the Seven of Swords. That is deceptive energy. That's not being honest. So, and then the Devil is also somebody's not being... So let's get some clarification on that. Tell me, why is the Seven of Swords there? So I've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Page of Wands. And I think it's just that maybe someone was presenting themselves as being one thing or wanting one thing, having one intention, but they actually had a different intention. And I mean, just from this is a very nurturing kind of energy. And then this is the Page of... it's immature. I'll read this one so that we can kind of get what's happening here. Page of Wands. You are ready to try something new. It may be something you've thought about for some time or have been reading or studying. It's time to put your thoughts into action. You're well prepared, so go ahead and take the next step. Be aware of jumping into something you're not ready for. If you haven't laid the groundwork, you'll probably be surprised by unexpected events or expenses. The Page of Wands can indicate a message usually pertaining to your career, a project you're working on, or a course of study that you're interested in. So this may be being too ambitious. And then the Queen of Pentacles is, you have worked hard and well. You've created a life filled with physical pleasures and beauty. Through your skills and careful budgeting of resources, you take great pride in your practicality. People around you enjoy the fruits of your labor, and although this gives you pleasure, you get just as much satisfaction from the results of your endeavors. Be aware of becoming fixated on end results and losing all joy in the process of creating. There is a danger of worrying about money too much. While it is wise to be careful, don't become obsessed with frugality, and don't sacrifice your spiritual creative and emotional life on the altar of practicality. I just see that there's like a disconnect between these two energies. Give me some information about the Devil. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Swords. So she is a very clear communicator, but if she doesn't do it with empathy, or if she's not coming from the heart, it can be very cutting and cold, and leaving someone feeling, in the Seven of Wands, very defensive. And it could lead to almost like an indignant. The King of Wands, let me see, because this would be just, like you can almost see just almost a brooding of just King of Wands. Be aware of believing that you are right, that your way is the only way, that there's a danger of becoming overly bossy or intolerant of others. So I think it's the communication is like, there's something about the communication that is leaving it feeling very cold and defensive. So what can we do about the situation? What can we do to even prevent this situation? All right, so we've got the Two of Swords. This is about making a decision when you don't have all of the information. But you do already know what you need to do, because this is your intuition. The High Priestess is about your intuition. And it's closing out a cycle. And I think that the cycle is that way of communicating. It's the defensiveness. It's the being, too cutting and, direct. It's not coming with a space of, love and compassion. And so I think that that's really the part that it has to be worked out in order for this, to not go into this this is where it becomes toxic, where we're not being fully who we're supposed to be. So we definitely want to avoid running into that situation. All right, let's see. I'll ask one more question and then we will wrap this up. All right, so what is in our highest good at this time? What move is in our highest good at this time? All right, so we've got the Two of Wands. This is about making a decision this is like the crossroads where you're choosing which way you're going to go. I'm going to go ahead and read this, the Two of Wands. You are at a crossroads. The correct choice is unclear, at least in terms of logic, because there are too many unknowns. The wands are not about logic. They are about inspiration and courage. Don't be like a squirrel distracted by every new thing, or like a rabbit too afraid to make a bold move. Follow your gut and move ahead bravely. Be aware of stagnation. The wands are about action. This is not a time to stand still. So, you have to make a decision. Which direction are you going to go? Are we going to move forward? Are we on this way? Are we going to... And I think in, this case, because, this is a twin flame reading, you're making the decision. Are we going to work towards union? Our ultimate union? Or are we going to take a different path? Are we going to just go our separate ways? I really think that's the question that we're looking at right now is are we doing this or not? Is this going to happen or not? And once we get clear about, what do we want? that's going to tell us, how we need to show up after that. And so once we make the decision, we've got the 7 of Wands. That is defending your belief. You're being asked to defend your actions or beliefs. Do not fear the attacks. Use the questions raised to clarify your understanding. If your beliefs are sound, a closer examination of them will hurt nothing and will add to your wisdom. Be aware of childish obstinacy. If you find your stances wrong, admit defeat and refine your beliefs so that they will stand up to examination. On the other hand, do not give up the fight out of fear. So there's 2 parts of that. Is one about owning your choices. And so I think a lot of times with these relationships, because they can be very explosive, and they can feel very toxic, and they can be very toxic, but not in the, I've got a video, and I'll go ahead and I will link it to that, where I talk about that. I think it was the last twin flame reading that I did. And it talks about the difference between a toxic relationship and the twin flame relationship, because it can be very painful. There's a lot of emotions, a lot of triggering that happens. And so if you've not had the greatest of foundations in this relationship, and most of these don't, when you make the decision that you are going to move forward with this relationship, there may be a lot of people questioning, why would you do that? Based off of everything that this person has already put you through, and everything that you've already been through with this person in this relationship, why would you continue forward with that? I think that is part of the defending your choices, your beliefs. Why you have to know why you're making the decisions. But then there was the other part, that if you're wrong, if you get information that makes it clear that, oh wait, my stance, I didn't fully understand it the way I thought I did, then it's being willing to be, being open to being wrong. Okay, we've got the Ace of Swords. This is clarity. Let's see. Ace of Swords. So you're being very clear with your intentions. You have the gift of thought. Use it rightly to see the world clearly, to communicate well, and to create a happy, healthy reality. As the motto 𝐉𝐻𝐈𝐑𝐈𝐍𝐻 suggests, always wield your gift rightfully. Be aware of having a sharp tongue, a clever wit, or desire for honesty are gifts of the sword. Do not use them in a destructive manner. So that's also talking about the communication part that we were talking earlier. It ties in with that. And then the Knight of Wands. Here. Okay. Your passion is moving you ahead very quickly. Whatever you are facing, you are very excited about it. You feel no fear, although you are certainly feeling a heady adrenaline rush. You are ready for a grand adventure. If one doesn't come to you, you will go out and find it. Be aware of recklessness. Remember that fools and the Knight of Wands rush in where angels fear to tread. Just be careful. All right, so this is just, don't rush into anything recklessly. Make sure that you have thought about what you actually want before you make this decision. But you do have to make the decision, and once you make the decision, that's just going to sort of lay out the rest of the plan ahead of you, and then being ready to defend your actions, and that you do have the clarity, that is the gift of clarity, but just don't be reckless with or impulsive with what we're trying to do. All right. So I'm going to stop there. I think what I see is just both are working really hard right now. They're working very hard to bring that justice back to the situation, to close out the karma, and to bring balance back to their masculine and feminine, to bring the alignment back to their life. So overall, this is very good, and hopefully we'll get more improvement going into June. All right. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. If you have, I guess I'm rushing this process, but if you have found value in this video, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel. You can hit the bell for notifications. It will let you know every time I post a new video. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can grab the link below and you can book a time. So you do not have to be present for the personal readings. What I do, you book the time and then I will do the video reading for you and email it to you once it's ready. So it's not something that you have to actually be present for, but I do 30-minute reading or 60-minute reading. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can grab that link, book it below. All right. So I'm tired. I'm going to go. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.